Going to affect everybody coming up from Spring Hill and Murray County into the Nashville area.
Big traffic issue this morning. And to get more information from the scene, News Channel 5's Cuthbert Langley joins us now live. I know you've just been there a few minutes. You've had time to talk to a couple of authorities, though?
Hey, Amy, yeah, I've actually spoke with several witnesses who heard what happened. They said they heard a loud boom and then a huge explosion, a fireball. Take a look at the scene right now. It's probably difficult for you guys to hear, but we are hearing several loud popping noises. You can see directly under this overpass here that, and where shot Aaron Pryor is shooting, our photojournalist there. You're hearing the sirens. You're seeing what the flames look like there. We are in the travel center just off about 200 or so yards away from the interstate and are continuing to hear multiple popping noises this morning. Witnesses say they heard a loud boom, sounded like something crashed, and then that giant explosion. You can see just how loud those flames are. And we're told this morning that the overpass may not survive. It is under construction, so there's tons of construction equipment around where we are. But again, no one is getting anywhere on this interstate. There really are officers I can see just all the way down the interstate for as far as the eye can see. So right now you're just taking a look at those crazy shots there from photojournalist Aaron Pryor. Again, the interstate is shut down. Flames high in the sky. The smoke is as high as we can see. We could see it from about a mile away as we are driving up. And currently we're hearing several popping noises. We don't know exactly what that is at this point, but it seems like this fire is still raging out of control this morning. In terms of injuries, we're hearing anything at that point. It's still too early to tell what exactly we are hearing in terms of those injuries. But again, you're just taking a look at just a crazy scene there from our other crew there on the side of the road. You can see those firefighters just having to battle as much as they can those big flames. Just guys, as we pan out, you can see that overpass right there, just how large those fires. There seems to be multiple sets of fire shots going on over there. Stephen, Amy?
Hey, Cuthbert, really quick question. You talked about that driver. Do we have any idea what that person's condition may be?
Not at this point, Steve. We've reached out to the Franklin County Police Department and as well as the Tennessee Highway Patrol. We have yet to hear back in terms of any injuries at this point when it comes down to that driver. But again, I mean, based on this scene, hopefully the driver is all right, but it's still too early to tell at this point.
And Cuthbert, you know, what about any idea at all about what this tanker could have been carrying or was carrying? Have you heard anything on the scene about that?
Based on what I've heard from witnesses, again, this is from witnesses here on the scene, they heard a giant explosion. So we could be talking a similar story to what we talked about earlier this week, a tanker filled with fuel, that sort of a thing. But again, there was an explosion, so it appears that there's something flammable on that truck.
Cuthbert, I'm sure you've got a ton of personnel down there. Franklin firefighters probably all responded down to the scene. Williamson County Fire Department as well down there. Do you know if Murray County or some other agencies are coming in to help out?
Yeah, it seems like we're having a multiple agency response here. Again, we're pretty far away from the scene here. We're, again, about 200 or so yards at the travel center here off the interstate, so it's difficult to see exactly who is on scene, but I've seen some of the sheriff's offices out here, so it definitely seems that this is a multi-agency response to this at this point. So it's not necessarily just Franklin County or the Tennessee Highway Patrol, but it does seem like there are several agencies assisting with this just massive fire that really is not just there at the overpass. We're talking several other additional hot spots, if you could call it, there all around this overpass.
Cuthbert, really quick question there, just to help me get some idea. That you're at the travel center. That's the bridge we're talking about is that major bridge that runs really from the travel center, I guess, on the east side of 65 over to that MAPCO, which is on the west side of 65. Am I right?
Exactly, yeah, that's what it appears to be. I mean, we're pretty much at the TA Travel Center, and this bridge basically just runs right across the interstate, so there really isn't any way to really get around this area other than, you know, looping back and forth off the interstate. It took us probably about 15 minutes out of the way just to get over here, so this really is kind of a crippling, a very important bridge over here to kind of get folks back and forth between one side of the interstate and the other.
And again, you know, obviously this is an important corridor. What about traffic? What are you seeing as far as backups right now?
I'm not seeing anything at this point, Amy. I mean, everything is completely shut down at this point. And as I'm talking to you guys, too, we're having some sort of material floating here through the air that's landing on us. It's tiny white specks, too small to see on the camera, but there's some some sort of material here flying around me this morning. I know it's quite difficult to see, but who knows what this could be. But again, in terms of traffic, Amy, we're not really seeing anything here. I mean, it is completely shut down. Not a single car on the road other than all of the agencies here responding to this. And that popping noise we heard at the beginning of the shot, we're not hearing at this point. So it appears, though, that, I mean, firefighters, police officers still have a long way to go when it comes down to getting this thing under control. Again, in terms of injuries, it is still too early to tell at this point. We are being told by the Franklin Police Department that the bridge, the structure, the integrity of the bridge is in question at this point. Based on what I'm seeing, it is still standing. But as you can see from that video with those hot flames, all of that smoke kind of running around the bridge, you know, we really could be talking about some serious damage here to this bridge.
Cuthbert, you don't know what you're breathing, so be careful out there, obviously. And I know firefighters will alert you all once they know, and you'll let us know if there's any evacuations or what the situation is with that chemical, whatever is burning right now. We want to let folks know we, in addition to Cuthbert, we have another crew on our way to the scene. Also, Sky 5, there they are on their way to the scene right now. And of course, Sky 5 HD getting ready to hit the air this morning and try to give us some pictures from above so we can see exactly what we're looking at.
Cuthbert talks about evacuations down there. Luckily, there are no neighborhoods directly related to that interchange there. You don't have, it's pretty rural right there, except for that truck stop where Cuthbert's located, and then of course that MAPCO and a couple of businesses on either side of that interchange there, but it's not a major residential area like some of the other exits we've seen along 65, but obviously traffic, and Dave is watching this as well, it's going to be shut down for some time in that area, both north and southbound, as fire crews continue to figure out what they've got in that situation and how to deal with it.
And interesting that this is the second tanker fire that the Mid-State has had to deal with just this 1 week. And of course, we continue to stay on the scene. And I know Cuthbert needs to try to gather information. In fact, Cuthbert, you have some more information for us. Okay.
Yeah, Amy, I just kind of wanted to hit home Steve's point in terms of the evacuations and that sort of thing with the residential area. We were driving through here, and it is very residential, or excuse me, very rural back here, just a lot of large fields. So in terms of any large-scale evacuations, in terms of any homes nearby, thankfully, that really doesn't seem to be the case, really, just to kind of describe. Actually, we are just getting some witness video here, or witness picture. If we want to zoom into this, just kind of shows you just moments after the explosion, just how large these flames were. This is from one of the multiple witnesses that's here on the scene. And so this just kind of shows you how large everything was this morning. And again, now we're looking at those live pictures of this now, probably 30 minutes or so after after this explosion here this morning. So guys, there are just many people here just kind of scratching their heads and thanking us, you know, that this really could have been much worse.